Hey, what's happening, guys? Rules for Rebels, and I just wanted to make a quick video letting you guys know to check out the Merch Minds podcast. It's a great podcast. I've been listening to it and following it for a while. It's Young and Glen, Young of geekhustle.com, Glen of Hustler Hacks. I think you guys actually turned me on to Glen through the comment section. Glen has a YouTube channel called Hustler Hacks, where he does a lot of like arbitrage from stores like Ross and Marshall's and Burlington Coat Factory. Excuse me, guys, I'm getting over a terrible cold. I was sick all weekend. But great YouTube channel. He went and met with Gary V a while back and spent a day with Gary V. And then Glen's a graphic designer by trade, also involved in a lot of different hustles, and has a website/blog called Geek Hustle. Two awesome guys, two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. They got a great podcast. Like I said, I've been watching it for a while. For any of you guys who haven't checked out Merch Minds, it's on like iTunes and Libsyn. I listen to it on Podcast Addict. It's basically a show all about Amazon merch. So they have different guests on, from graphic design professors, graphic designers, merch sellers, marketers. I know the other week I was listening to an episode they had talking about like Fiverr designs, and they had a guest on who was like a professor at, I don't know, Milwaukee University or something like that. But they talk about everything related to merch. So if there's any new Amazon policy changes, they'll keep you abreast of those changes. They share tips, tricks, best practices, and it's almost like kind of a case study, because each episode they share their personal numbers. So if you're wondering, like, is merch slow this month? Like, you can see what these guys are doing. Two guys who are normally selling well. If they're saying it's slow, it's probably slow. But yeah, Glen's been killing it on there for a while. I know at one point in an early episode, I heard him say he had over 3,800 designs and was making over $5,000 a month. I think Young got on a little bit after Glen. But Young in his own right is killing it on there. I forget exactly his tier and everything, but man, he's moving up the ranks quickly, making some good money. And both these guys are graphic designers by trade, have a lot of good stuff to say. On the show, I did get a chance to ask them a few questions about, like, okay, for those of us who aren't really good at graphic design, like, what do you suggest we do to get started? And I did have a chance to pick their brain and ask them a few questions, although, as so often happens, you know, as soon as the episode was over and we got off the Google Hangout, I was like, oh man, I forgot to ask him this, and I forgot to ask him that, and I forgot to ask him the other thing. Excuse me. So maybe I'll see if I can get these guys to come on my YouTube channel. And, you know, there's some questions I'd love to ask them, and maybe we could open up to you guys as well. And if there's any kind of, like, questions that you guys have about Amazon merch or t-shirt design or graphic design in general, maybe you guys could ask them some of those questions as well. But overall, it was an awesome experience, man. Two awesome guys. I've kind of talked about this before. I've wanted to do more live streams. I've wanted to do more collaborations, etc. And it's something I've been a little bit kind of gun shy to do. I think partly because I kind of have to be in the mood to create content. Like, my biggest fear is like setting up some big interview or some big collaboration for, you know, maybe Thursday night, and then I have a long day at the office on Thursday, and I get home and I'm not feeling that good. I'm kind of tired, and it's like, oh shit, I got to do a live stream with so and so, and I'm just like not in the mood to really like put myself out there on a video. So that's one thing. But the other thing is one of my first, and I think my only interview, hangout, Skype conversation that I've had to date was actually with Joe Sinkiewicz from Intellifluencer. If any of you guys aren't familiar with Intellifluencer, they pair brands together with influencers. It's kind of similar to like a FameBit or a Grapevine Logic. Two platforms that do very similar things. But Joe Sinkiewicz, man, awesome guy, was nice enough to give me some time for an interview. We had a great chat. I got to ask him some great questions. We talked about the whole like influencer marketing thing. And as soon as it was over and I went back to listen to it, I realized I wasn't wearing headphones on the Skype call, which meant the volume was coming out of my computer, and there's obviously a delay between like the computer and what's really happening. So there was like this terrible echo. I reached out to a bunch of Fiverr sellers to see if they could kind of like remaster the audio and clean it up, but apparently you can't do anything for that. So that was like one of my biggest fears, is like botching another interview. And you know, I always tell you guys, get out there, even if you're scared, even if you don't know what you're doing, do it anyhow. And I could definitely stand to listen to my own advice a little bit, because I've been kind of a little bit gun shy to do some of these collabs. Me and Glen, as well as like Reezy Resells and Crypto Oracle and a couple other guys, have been talking about doing collabs lately, and I've been kind of too much of a little scaredy cat to actually get out there and do them. So I just wanted to kind of say thank you to Glen and Young. Like, them having me on the show was kind of a nice little confidence boost that I needed to kind of put myself out there and do a little bit more of that. It was kind of funny when we started it. They sent me a link for Google Hangouts. I logged on. We chatted for a couple minutes before we actually got on the show. But, you know, two of the nicest, most down-to-earth, awesome guys you'll ever meet. You know, they were right off the bat. Glen and Young were both like, look, man, like, you know, we're just going to have a little chat. We try to keep it really casual, like, you know, and I was a little bit nervous going on. I'd never really done like a podcast or really even an interview before. So I was a little bit, you know, a little bit nervous. I had a little bit of nerves going into it, and they really kind of put me at ease. It was kind of nice having them handle like the live stream, or I guess it wasn't a live stream, but having them handle the audio and the broadcast and everything kind of meant that I didn't have to be messing with audio and microphones and everything else. Like, I just got to come on the show. So again, it kind of made my evolution onto like live streaming and collabing and stuff a little bit easier. So really wanted to thank the guys. I had an awesome experience, and I think it's going to be really good for me and really good for the channel. And I, you know, like I said, I've been kind of scared to do those for a while. They were super nice. I realized after doing it, like, wow, there's nothing to be scared of. That was a lot of fun. It's probably going to benefit their show as well as my channel. I really got to start doing more of this. So came out of the interview with like a huge like confidence boost. I'm going to start doing some more collabs. I think I might try to get Glen and Young to come on the show sometime, to where maybe you and I, or you guys and I, can ask them some of the questions that we've maybe been wondering about. Because these guys are both doing fantastic on Amazon merch. They both got a background in graphic design, so I think there's a lot that we could learn from them. But yeah, overall, guys, check out the show. I'll link to it in the description box below. I'll put a couple different links. I know some people like iTunes, some people like Podcast Addict. Young actually streams it right on his website, Geek Hustle. So I'll put a couple different links to a couple different places to where you guys can listen to this. And, you know, it's a great show. Check out some of their previous episodes, and stay tuned too, because they're not only are they sharing some great tips with you, but they're going to keep you on the cutting edge of like what's going on, policy changes, etc. That's actually, I think, I never really knew that there were these merch design services out there like Merch Candy and Merch Mode and all these other things. So, you know, listening to their show kind of turned me onto that, and I got a great design made by Merch Mode. But yeah, I'm going to cut this video off. Just wanted to do a quick video, let you guys know about these two awesome guys and this great podcast that they have. Honored that they had me on, and it was also kind of a great confidence boost for me as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow for Side Hustle Tuesdays, and we'll see you then.